about what your ancestors need to tell you at this time. These are their urgent messages, okay? So your ancestors could be um, your family members that have passed over, lovers, friends, whoever was near and dear to you that may be on the other side. This could also be iterations of you in different timelines, okay? So time is not linear, okay? Time is in cycles, and this is my own personal opinion and belief on it. But this is just how I see time. So when there's ancestors, meaning iterations of you in different timelines, it could be higher selves, whatever the situation may be. But these are the messages that they want to bring to you at this time. I'm super excited to do this reading. I've been channeling my ancestors and spirit guides a lot lately. And as I've grown into my spiritual path more and more, and they always give me the best advice, and they truly make me feel loved, and they're a big part of why I'm even doing what I'm doing today, divination. So I hope these messages can bring you that comfort, that healing, and whatever message it needs to bring to you today. Okay, but I have three piles. So I have my first pile is with the selenite crystal. Okay, the second pile is clear quartz crystal. Okay, and the third pile is going to be amethyst. All right, today's reading is not going to be super long. I'm going to give you the messages that you need, and then I'm going to move on to the next pile, just for uploading purposes. But if you guys want a personal reading with me, please go to the email below in the description. Send me a brief introduction about yourself, what you want the reading for, and how long you would like to have the reading, and then I'll give you my rates and my schedule, and then we could just go from there. Okay, but I'll see you guys soon. Hello, my pile one. You got the selenite crystal. So let's get right into the urgent messages your ancestors want you to know. I don't know what. So pile one, I get downloads and I hear messages from my own spirit guides and ancestors, and I'm hearing something about poly. So polygel, polyamorous. I don't know. Poly means more than one. So there's something pertaining to more than one. Let's get more information on that. What does Pile 1's ancestors want them to know at this time? Creativity. Okay, so this could be pertaining to your creativity, Pile 1. Pile 1, you have a very creative mind. Okay, you are super creative. So I see somebody who's really into the arts. Maybe you're into like music or acting, but you have more than one talent. You have more than one creative project that you want to work on. I'm hearing your ancestors say it's okay. It's okay to pursue more than one creative outlet. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Just remain disciplined. Make sure you finish what is your heart's desire, and you can finish other projects in the meantime. But don't just start up something, have the courage, and then just never finish it. Okay, really try to see something through so you can create the product. So what I'm getting is your ancestors are telling you all this creativity will be for nothing if you never have a final product. Your ancestors want you to create a final product. So maybe pile one, you're like me. Maybe you start a lot of things but you don't always finish it, and that's okay. Sometimes we try out things and we realize it's not for us. But for the things that really sing true to your heart, your heart's desire, your ancestors want you to come up with the final product. Okay, doesn't matter if you work on a million things. You need to create a final product for one of your heart's desires, and only then will you see the true beauty and creativity of what you can create. Okay, I don't know if that's for someone in particular. It's a very specific message. Okay, let's see. Pile one. What does your ancestors want you to say to you? What do they need to say to you? Sorry. You have Yamaya awakening. Ooh, okay. So there's a lot of spirit babies coming through. Oh my god. Spirit babies have been coming through a lot of my readings, and a lot of downloads I've been getting. I feel like at this time we are in the year 7, and if you guys know anything about numerology, 7 is all about spirituality. So in this year, it wouldn't be surprising to have a bunch of spirit babies that want to come through. And I feel like for you, Pal One, there is spirit babies around you right now. So if you don't want to have a baby, be very careful. But if you're looking to start a family, there are very strong, powerful beings that are around you at this time, and they want to choose you to be the vessel, to be the mother, to be the sacred womb in which they want to be birthed. And that is such a beautiful experience. I feel like your future child, Paul One, if you want a family, is going to be very enlightened, very powerful. Okay? And if you see these dolphins in the background, dolphins actually used to assist mothers with the birthing of the baby. And when they assisted in the birthing of the baby, it made for very intelligent children. So I feel like your child is going to be very intelligent, but beyond that, your ancestors want you to know about this awakening. Okay, when you are living in a life of creation, Power One, it's important to know that awakens the DNA code within you. Okay, so we all have a DNA code, but when we are in creation, when we are using our creativity, right, going with our soul's purpose, we activate certain DNA codes, and certain DNA codes allows us to elevate in certain ways. So for example, I believe that I activated some of my DNA codes, and that which allowed me to become more intuitive. Okay, by following my soul's purpose, I eliminated certain things out of my diet, and I decided to live in certain ways, and no more vices, no more drinking or smoking. This allowed me to activate a part of my DNA code that was dormant for some time. And this is just my belief, okay? I'm not trying to convince anyone of anything. But your ancestors want you to know this. They want you to know about the DNA code activation that is within you at this time. So, Pal One, maybe you're eliminating a lot of different things, maybe in your diet when it comes to relationships, and you're coming from more of a creative place in your life, and that's operating a brand new array of abilities that you have, okay? We also have Satira Brazin. Yeah, which is 17, 1 plus 7 going to 8. Ancestors want you to know to be brave at this time. Pal One, you're scared to do something creatively. This is the download I'm getting. You're scared to do something creatively, something you've been awakened to, something you've gotten downloads with, something you know is your spiritual gift. You're afraid to do it, and for whatever reason, maybe you don't want this secret revealed. Maybe you don't want people to know, like your creative talent. And I'm laughing because it kind of sounds crazy, because I see you being so talented in what you do. And I just think it's crazy that you don't want people to see it, or you're scared for people to see it. But whatever your reason is, there's no judgment at all. Just know that the secrets are going to come out anyway, because this is your purpose. This is your divinity. Okay, the camel holds water, right, in their humps, and it helps them stay hydrated in the hot desert. So this is your life supply. Okay, Paul One, your creativity is your life supply. It's what keeps you going, whether you know it or not. And by keeping this away, by keeping this hidden, you're just doing a disservice to yourself and to humanity, because your gifts are needed. Okay, your creativity was given to you by God for a reason, because it is that powerful. Okay, and you are so much more powerful when you're living in that creation. I just want to see what's underneath this card. Yeah, we have Mom Lambo, self-sabotage. Yeah, what I tell you guys, you guys sabotage yourselves by not living in your creation. You know this is what you should be doing. Your ancestors are telling you, we've given you the downloads. We've sent you signs, we've sent you messages. Okay? I'm even hearing some of your ancestors say that they saved your life. And they've been there in times of where you were struggling, okay? Maybe you were struggling with your health, maybe you were struggling financially, but they've been there in those times helping you and assisting you, and they're telling you to not sabotage yourself. Don't be afraid to put this out here, Pile 1. Okay? For the mothers here, okay? Don't be afraid to have this child. Don't be afraid of motherhood. You're going to be great at it. That's also what I'm hearing too. I'm going to get 2 more cards for you, Pile 1. Because I feel like you have a very unique situation that your ancestors are like, they want to bring my attention to. Yeah, giving and receiving radical rebirth. This is a time where you really need to give from your heart. Okay? Create from your heart. Allow the blessings to come in. Give and help out where you can help out. Because this is going to create a new level of spirituality for yourself, okay? You are going to be a completely different person by following your soul's creation, right? You are God's creation, okay? You are creation in itself. And you also have innate creativity within your soul that needs to come out, okay? This is a part of your purpose, okay? And these 2 lions are here with this radical rebirth. The strength, your ancestors are saying, do not worry. We are right beside you. We are always with you. In your time of ascension, we will be there. In your time of struggle, we will be there. We are right next to you, and we are encouraging you to do this. Free yourself. Number 5, free yourself, Pile 1, from the restraints that you put on yourself, from the self-sabotage you put on yourself, okay? Receive the blessings. All right, but Pile 1, that's the messages I have for you. I hope you got something out of this. If you resonated with the messages, please comment down below. I read all of the comments. But until our next reading, Pile 1, I hope you have a blessed day and peace. Hello, Pile 2. You chose the clear quartz. Let's get right into your reading. This is what your spirit guides, this is what your ancestors want you to know at this time, okay? These are the urgent messages that your ancestors want you to know at this time, okay? I'm hearing fortify. So fortify means to reinforce. Pile 2, you need to reinforce maybe a foundation, because I'm also getting like fort, and fort is like I'm seeing like when kids make a fort out of blankets and stuff, and they try to create like a cool fort and put blankets and stuff. You need to maybe fortify some sort of foundation. Yes, Pile 2. Fortify some sort of foundation that you have. Maybe you feel like a foundation is crumbling or it needs fixing. Let's see. Pile 2, what does your ancestors want you to know at this time? Pile 2. Okay. 9 of Swords. Yeah. We have anxiety and worry here with the 3 of Cups. Yes, there is anxiety and worry about something not coming together for you, Pile 2. Yeah, your ancestors see this. It's about a relationship. Okay, Pile 2, there is a relationship that you need to work on, okay? And I'm telling you what the ancestors are saying, your ancestors especially. They're saying that they want you to work on this relationship, right? Yes, because it cannot continue to go how it's going right now, okay? I feel like someone in the relationship, Pal, too, and this is not a love reading, but this is what's coming up for you. So I'm just gonna read what's coming up. This is not the intention for a love reading. This is strictly what your ancestors need you to know right now. But someone's relationship is in trouble, okay? And it doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic partnership. It could be with a family member or it could be with a close friend. But something is at jeopardy here, okay? One of you feel like they need to guard themselves. They are backed up against the wall. I'm seeing a lot of survival instinct. So there is I feel like this is you, pal, too. You are in this survival mode, okay? And it's causing you to juggle a lot of things, and it's causing a lack mentality because you feel the need that I have to focus on so many different things and I have to juggle all these different things by myself. And it's causing a lack mentality, which is causing the relationship to have issues, okay? Three of Pentacles, there is a need. Your ancestors are trying to tell you to work together. There is no way that this relationship will prosper or be a healthy one if you guys are not working as a team, okay? You guys need to work as a team. I do feel like someone with the Page of Cups, this means like an offer, right? Could mean like a child involved, but this Page of Cups means that there's like an emotional offer, but it's not like an Ace of Cups. It's not overflowing love. So I do feel like, Paul, too, that I don't think you realize it. I don't believe that the love is fading, but the emotional depth is fading in a relationship, and I feel like that's due to you being in survival mode. Because you cannot take yourself out of survival mode, the relationship is suffering. You have less to give, okay, Paul 2? And I'm not coming at you, I'm not judging you at all. This is just the messages that I'm getting. And it happens to all of us. We are human. We have times where we get stuck in the 3D. We get stuck in the senses. And I feel like you need to tap more into your spirituality. You need to tap more into your meditation. Your ancestors want you to really go within and stop looking at what's right in front of you. There's so much more than what is right in front of you. And I think that's what you're losing sight of, Pal 2. Your ancestors want you to get back to the spirituality of yourself. They want you to get back to your spiritual self, okay? Because your spiritual self has been neglected, okay? And that's why this relationship, whatever this relationship is, that's why it is suffering, okay? 9 of Pentacles and the Strength with the 7 of Cups. Yeah, I feel like somebody used to feel like that they saw you like this person who was just so fulfilled and had everything going together and just abundant in themselves and just shining, and they saw you as really strong, but now they see you as like overwhelmed, okay? And I'm not saying care about what other people think of you, but your ancestors are bringing this to your attention because I don't even think you realize maybe how you come off to people, especially the people you love. And someone can see you drowning. Someone can see you drowning in sadness. I think you feel, Paul, too, that you have a good way of hiding it, but you don't. You don't. And it's okay. I think a big part of getting out of this sadness and out of this feeling is acceptance. And I also think it's allowing people to come in, allowing others to help us heal, okay? Because we all can't do it by ourselves. You are overwhelmed, and you need to accept that feeling of being overwhelmed and confront it and heal it. Because your sadness is overflowing, and it's overflowing in this relationship, okay? There is 5 of Wands, there's conflict here. There's fighting, okay? Whew, it's a tough energy, pile too. I feel for you. But your ancestors have you. They have your back. They want what's best for you, and they really feel like they don't want you. They don't want you to turn away from these beautiful relationships in your life. They don't want you to turn away from the love that you have in your life, okay? You have these relationships for a reason, and they teach you about yourself. So don't feel judged. Don't feel like nobody will understand you. Don't feel like you're in this alone. Your ancestors are with you, and you have loved ones that care about you, and they see this overflowing sadness. Unfortunately, it does come out sometimes in projection. Sometimes it does spill out onto the people we love. And it's not that we're doing it intentionally, it just happens that way sometimes, and your ancestors want you to get a hold of this, pal, too. But let's get some last cards from my own deck. It says change your frequency. Yeah, what I tell you, you have a very sad frequency right now, a low frequency. I feel it. You're very sad at this time. You're holding in a lot of things. You're very overwhelmed. Your ancestors want you to give it up to them. Surrender that feeling and that pain. Accept what is right now. Accept it and heal it. Okay? You have 333, which is God's beauty. Yeah, she represents creativity, intuition, and self-awareness. When this appears, express the beauty of your soul by achieving purpose through acts of service. Through acts of creation and artistic expression. Admire and share beauty with others and your intuition to attract abundance to flow into your life. Your ancestors want you to know the way to combat this survival mode, this feeling of I have to fight or flight, is to be in your creation. Create. Okay, when you create, you're creating beauty. You're creating from your soul. You are creation, pal, too. So when you create, you are being in God's frequency. You're being in the flow of the universe, of all things that are created, right? And that's what gets you out of this fight or flight mode, okay? At the bottom of the deck, I have numerology 6, which is service. I support, life path, master, a talent that fills a need in society. The destiny to this number is find a way to serve where there is a need. The positive aspects of this card is sympathetic, loving, caring, harmonious, and stable. The negative is sacrificial, intrusive, meddling, too trusting, and can be taken advantage of. Prone to anxiety and phobias. Yeah, exactly, Patu. It's the anxiety that you feel. It's being overwhelmed. But it's saying when you are in creation, you are just creating and giving without anything in return, without any expectation. And that's the frequency you need to be in. Pal2, these are my messages for you. I hope you got something from it. But until our next reading, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. Hello, Pal3. This is your reading. Let's go ahead and get started. This is the urgent messages your ancestors want to tell you at this time. I'm not too familiar with this deck, so I do have the book with me. So there might be times where I have to pick up the book and read, but that's okay. I like to learn new things, and we're here to learn new things. Yeah, your ancestors actually want to carry on with that message, Pal 3. So, learning new things, okay? Your ancestors want you to learn new things, or they want you to be in the energy of curiosity, always experiencing new things, okay? Learning is very important for you, and your ancestors want you to know that at this time, okay? Some of you could be a teacher or a student, but your ancestors want you to know to continue learning. It keeps you enlightened and intelligent and knowledgeable, okay? What's this? The Red Buddha family of the West. Replace greed by cultivating discrimination. So this is number 43. Okay. Padma Dakini. I can't pronounce all of these names. These names are a little difficult to pronounce. So instead of struggling, I'll just kind of keep it blank. But I will show the card so you guys can look it up if you want further information, okay? So, Pal 3, let's see. What do your spirit guides want to let you know? We have Karma Dakini, the Green Buddha family of the North. Replace envy by focusing on your accomplishments. Yes. Okay. So you have Padma Dakini and Karma Dakini, 43 and 44. Wow, okay, so we have a sequence. And we have Dorje Drolo, the crazy wisdom, wrathful Buddha. Let go of being logical. A higher wisdom will guide you. I was just talking about learning. Wow. So that's so interesting. Let go of being logical. A higher wisdom will guide you. Okay. And what's at the bottom of the deck? Primordial Buddha. Can't say that. Brilliant sky, illuminating sun. The entire universe manifests out of awareness. Okay. So right away, Pile 3, what I'm hearing, the downloads that I'm getting from your ancestors here, is that they want you to learn in a way that comes from self-awareness and not logic. Does that make sense? So, not so much like, for example, like reading a book. Remember I said I got to go into the book because I don't know exactly what these things mean. It's not from a book. It's not from intellectual property. It's from the intellectual data that we have within ourselves and through the experiences that we go through. Okay, you get what I'm saying? So we're learning through experiences we're going through as opposed to material, okay? Even though we can have experiences with the material. But you get what I'm saying? It's not traditional knowledge. It's the knowledge that we gain through going through the experience. Your ancestors want you to learn from the experiences in your life more than from what maybe you read from a book or what you know from like class. Okay, remember I said somebody's maybe a student. It's like you have to actually apply the knowledge. Okay, so I'm also hearing ancestors say that intelligence is not truly intelligence without wisdom. Okay, there is no enlightenment without wisdom, and the only way to get wisdom is through self-awareness. So it's like knowing what you know, but also going through it, being self-aware. Pile 3. This is a little difficult to decipher. I hope you guys are with me, okay? But I'm going to read the first card. This is number 43, which comes to 7. And 7 is a spiritual number in numerology. So it says, along with being associated with the energy of direction, each Buddha has a family of enlightened beings, including Dakinis that have similar attributes. Padma Dakini is an enlightened wisdom Dakini. She's associated with Amitabha, the Buddha family of the West, the color red, the fire element, sunset, the gift of discrimination, the hand mudra of meditation, the poison of greed, and the emblem of the lotus. She's also associated with the magical function of attraction and fascination, the throat chakra, and the 4th day in the bardo. She helps manifest the awakening of enlightened awareness in the mind stream of practitioners, revealing dormant spiritual impulses. She can also grant worldly CDs supernatural powers. Yes, Pile 3, I think what you don't know, what your ancestors are bringing attention to, you have supernatural powers, okay? I think for you, Pile 3, you prided yourself off of your intelligence. Maybe you just felt like, I'm a very good thinker, I'm very logical, I'm very strategic. But it's not just that. You have supernatural powers, okay? Things that enhance your strategic and logical mind is intuition. You have a very powerful intuition, and you also can see things from a scope or from a view of spirituality. That's why it's number 7. Okay? You have to get more into the spiritual self, because our human experience is not just the physical, it's also the spiritual. Okay? It's what our spirit is also experiencing this world. So you have to be more self-aware, and that only comes through going through the experience. I think for you, Pile 3, because you're so intelligent and so logical, you feel that you don't have to go through certain experiences because you already know, and your ancestors are telling you that's not true. You still have to go through these things as well. Okay? I'm gonna read 44 really quick. I don't want to take too long on this reading. Number 44 is the Karma Dakini. It is an enlightened wisdom Dakini. She is associated with Amo Gadasi in the Buddha family of the North, the color green, midnight, the gift of accomplishment, the Avaya Mudra of fearlessness, and the poison of envy. She is also associated with the perennial chakra, the fifth day in the bardo, the double vajra, and the magical function of pacifying. She helps manifest the awakening of enlightened awareness in the mind stream of practitioners, revealing dormant spiritual impulses. She can also grant worldly siddhis, supernatural powers. Yeah, back to that supernatural powers. Your ancestors are also assisting in enhancing these powers for you, okay? I think for you, pile 3 also, I'm getting for some of you specifically, you're looking into the supernatural. You're looking into magic, okay? And you're just reading from it, and you're like, okay, I know everything I need to know because I got this book or I'm reading it. And it's like, no, your ancestors are telling you no. In order to really cultivate this magic and enhance the power within you, you have to do the work, okay? For example, if you're learning about manifestation rituals, you have to do the rituals, okay? You don't just look at what sigils to put on the candle. You have to actually put those sigils on your candle. You have to create a ritual that is geared towards you. And if this is what you're looking at, okay, I'm talking to some witches and warlocks here. If this is what you're planning to do, you have to do the work. Okay, you can't just read about it. You have to do it. Okay? 27. Yeah. This is the embodiment of all the accumulated knowledge with Dorje Drolo, okay? He rides through the jungle of life on a tigress, and he holds a purba, a magical dagger for this work. He's instrumental in establishing Buddhism in Tibet, bringing from India in the 8th century. As he traveled through the land, he encountered many demons and spirits intent on blocking his progress, as they knew his work was very powerful. 13 times he appeared as Dorje Drolo to subdue the harmful spirits of the land and turn them onto the path of Buddhism. He was in a way a proselyte, of the best kind, convincing each demon to come to the aid of the Dharma teachings rather than inhibiting them. These creatures are the origins of the demonic deities one sees in Tibetan, and horrific monsters from your worst nightmares turned into pussycats. Yes, this man discarded the path of normal logic and convention. Yes, crazy wisdom. Okay, I'm still a little bit longer for you guys, but I have to get this message out. Your ancestors want you to know what you are doing, okay? Pile 3, what you are doing does not need conventional thinking. Conventional thinking is actually the opposite to what you are doing. It is not needed. There's no value to conventional thinking, okay? And the reason for that is a lot of what you're doing right now, Apollo 3, has everything to do with the supernatural, with the esotericism. It is otherworldly. It is not in this dimension. This dimension has created conventional logic. You are doing things that are of other dimensions, which means it needs crazy wisdom. It needs the wisdom from all of the different dimensions, not here. Okay? And I think that's hard to wrap your head around, Paula 3, because maybe that's how your brain works. Maybe your brain is very methodical and conventional in that way. But your ancestors are telling you, you need to pull that wisdom and that knowledge from the ether, from the different dimensions, not using this conventional method, okay, of thinking and logic here, okay? So your ancestors are stressing that to you, whatever you're doing or whatever you're completing. I feel like this is a project for you, Paul 3. And I feel like somebody's a student or maybe a teacher. Maybe you're coming up with some sort of lesson plan. Maybe you're learning something brand new. They're telling you it's not of this world. It's not of this dimension. Okay? It is from another dimension. That's why it requires a different type of wisdom. And you have to experience it. It is not in the conventional way of learning. Okay? But that's all I have for you guys, Part 3. I hope you got something from this reading. Please comment down below. Tell me what resonated with you and what you think about what your ancestors are telling you today, okay? But until our next reading, Part 3, I hope you guys have a blessed day and peace.